Okay, students, good morning, all of you. Ma. So, already in last class, we have given introduction part. Myself, N. Durga Rao, Department of Biology. So, I will teach biology subject in BIPS College. Okay, everybody knows BIPS school. So, from the BIPS school, continuation PU college is also is there. In that college, all the lecturers are PCMB lecturers from Andhra only. So, I think so you might have new. If you are a CBSE students of our school, no problem. If any students are out of school, for them my introduction. Okay, ma. So last class, just a little minute discussion we have made. So now we will see complete discussion. So remaining part discussion. See here. So organs of respiration we are discussing. The topic organs of respiration. Organs of respiration. Organs of respiration. See ma, here it is for online teaching. We have taken one tab. On the tab, so generally that tab is a little bit slippery. So if I will draw a line, so straight line it does not come. A little bit slippery. We are also new for this system. So if handwriting is not that much beautiful means don't feel. Okay, ma, just to explain about our system, we are started this program. So online classes may not be that much effective as offline classes. Just it is the platform to interact with you. So we have started. See, before in this chapter, organs of respiration. So first of all, we will see respiratory system. Respiratory system. Respiratory system. See here, multicellular animals. Here, if we will see in multicellular animals, in multicellular animals, there are special organs in multicellular animals. Multicellular, unicellular animals means already everybody studied. Unicellular organisms means what? They contains only one cell. Multicellular means what? They contains more than one cell. Such type of animals are called multicellular animals. In multicellular animals, there are special organs. See, special organs. So those special organs obtain means what? Absorb. In multicellular animals, there are special organs are arranged. There are special organs are present in multicellular animals. Those multicellular animals obtain oxygen from the surroundings, environment. From the surroundings environment. Okay, so from the surroundings environment, organs receives oxygen and supply oxygen, supply this oxygen to all the parts, all the cells in the body, all the cells in the body. For example, it is one organism. Here number of cells will be there. It is a multicellular animals. It contains number of cells. So among these, there are special organs are present. Those organs obtain or absorb atmospheric oxygen and supply it to all the cells in the body. So here, this will absorb oxygen. It will absorb. All the cells absorb atmospheric oxygen absorbed and utilizes this oxygen and releases all the cells release carbon dioxide. All the cells utilize oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is sent to the organs, respiratory organ, Organ, respiratory organ. This organ expelled out. This organ expelled carbon dioxide outside the environment. This is called respiratory system. Everybody knows that. So, sir, among those many of topics, biology, why you have taken this topic only means what? See, this topic is related to first PUC topic. So, in this topic, some basic information if I give, then first PUC specific topic is there. Breathing and exchange of gases. One topic is there in first PUC. That topic you will feel easy when you are listen the topic. Okay, so in all the multicellular animals, there are special type of organs are present. Those organs may be varies from one organism to another organism, one animal to another animal, one species to another species. In some of the organisms, book-shaped lungs. In some of the organisms, lungs. In some of the organisms, various types of respiratory organs. Those organs absorb oxygen from the environment, from the atmosphere, and supply oxygen to all the cells in the body. All the cells in the body. So when all the cells absorb oxygen, all the cells utilize and immediately releases carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide through respiratory organ is expelled out. This process is called respiratory system. Next here, if we will see organs of organs of respiration. Organs of respiration. Organs of respiration. See here, organs of respiration. See, generally here, mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of breathing vary among different groups of animals, among different groups of animals, different groups of animals, depending upon the yes. Okay, breathing, the mechanism of breathing vary among different groups of animals depending on the living habitat, depending upon the living habitat and levels of organization, See here, levels of organization. See, breathing is different in different groups of animals, depending on the living habitat. Living habitat. Here, if you will see habitat, living habitat. Living habitats. See, some organisms live in aquatic habitats. Some are lives in terrestrial habitats. Some are lives in both the places. Some are lives in burrows. See, in these different organisms shows different kinds of respiration. See, aquatic habitats. So these will absorb oxygen from the dissolved oxygen. Oxygen is absorbed in the form of dissolved state through water. Aquatic organisms. So example, fishes, larvae of amphibians, etc. So terrestrial habitats, if you will see terrestrial habitats, living habitat means what? Where they are living. Terrestrial habitats, the animals which can survive. The animals which can survive on land. Such animals are called terrestrial habitats. Those can absorb oxygen from the environment, or from the surroundings. From the environment, through respiratory organs, oxygen is entered. So here, dissolved oxygen we cannot absorb, terrestrial organisms. Here, so oxygen gas directly aquatic organisms cannot absorb because aquatic habitats, aquatic organisms, aquatic animals body like that way organized. See, levels of organization. Okay, so their body is organized like that. Their body is organized to absorb oxygen from the water in dissolved state. Water is entered in their body. The water in that water oxygen is dissolved. So the dissolved oxygen when enters to their body, oxygen is entered, water is expelled out through minute pores present on the body. So like that. Terrestrial habitats, oxygen they will take from the environment. Directly oxygen is entered into the terrestrial habitats. Both, some of the organisms live in both habitats, aquatic habitats and terrestrial habitats. It depends upon surrounding situation. See, if you will see frog, adult frog, it can survive in water and land. On both the places, they can survive. So when it was in water, it can use their skin to absorb oxygen. When it was in land, it can use mouth and lungs. Also skin. I will say next topic. I will say. So when frog was on land, through skin, through moist skin, it can absorb respiration. It can absorb oxygen. Mouth, buccal respiration, buccal cavity. So whether you observed or not, when frog was on land, it will open the mouth, buccal cavity. It opened like this way. It will open, often absorbs oxygen. So that is called buccal respiration or oral respiration. When it was on land, lungs. Depends upon conditions. Okay, like that. So burrows, if we will see some organisms, see some organisms lives in burrows. Burrows means, for example, earthworm you take, earthworms. So summer seasons, winter seasons. Summer estivation. During summer season, outside environment and soil is more hot and dry. In such climatic conditions, earthworm cannot absorb oxygen. So in such cases, it is the soil. They will dig the soil. During rainy season only, they will dig the soil. Like that. So finally, like this, they will make a burrows. These are called burrows. They will make a pores or holes in the soil. They will dig the soil and keep holes. These holes are called burrows. During summer seasons, happily they will settle in the burrows and survive. In the burrows, environment is cool and moist. In the cool and moist environment only, earthworm can absorb oxygen from the surroundings. This kind of sleep is called summer sleep or estivation. Throughout summer, they can survive in burrows. Next. Earthworm only. During winter seasons, it is called hibernation. So it is the soil. So during winter season, they will like this way, they will dig the soil. They will dig little, they will dig the soil and make a burrows like this in the deeper layers of the soil. So in these deeper layers of the soil, earthworms can survive, can live. Because in winter seasons, outside environment is too cold and unable to, outside environment is not suitable for surviving. That's why in winter seasons, earthworms, they will settle in the deeper layers of the soil. That is called burrows. The environment in the burrows moist and a little hot during winter seasons. So in such cases, so they can tolerate severe colder climatic condition happily they can survive. Okay, so after finishing this winter sleep is also called hibernation. Like this way, not only earthworm, frog, some kind of organisms, they will take winter sleep and summer sleep. Winter sleep is called hibernation, summer sleep is called estivation. In such conditions, they will absorb oxygen from the surroundings through their moist skin. Like this way, habitat and levels of organization. Okay, so the mechanism of breathing vary among different groups of animals depending on the habitat and levels of organization. So these organisms can exchange oxygen by simple diffusion. By simple diffusion. See here, someone asked me doubt. Let me explain. Estivation, nothing but summer sleep. Estivation, nothing but summer sleep. Estivation, nothing but summer sleep. Okay, so during summer, outside environment is hot and dry. In such cases, generally frog, earthworm, some other kinds of organisms, they cannot tolerate such a huge temperature. In such conditions, before summer only, they will dig the soil. They will open the soil, and like this way, burrows, they will dig the soil. And like this, they will make a burrows in the deeper layers of the soil. Happily, either frog or earthworm or some species of fishes, snails, like these organisms, they settle in the burrows. Happily, they settled in the burrows. In the burrows only they settled. And throughout the summer month, they happily survive in the burrows and escapes summer environment. It is a kind of adaptation. Okay, so when the outside environment is hot, when they are surviving in the burrows environment is cool. Due to this cool, the earthworm body is moist. So if the earthworm body is moist, the moist skin, the earthworm body moist means earthworm skin is moist. The moist skin absorb oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Okay, so in such a way they will spend their life throughout summer. That is called summer sleep. It is also called science, according to the science, estivation. Okay, ma? That's all. So these organisms, okay, simply exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide by simple diffusion. By simple diffusion means what here? Simple diffusion. See here, simple diffusion. Simple diffusion means what? Let me explain. Simple diffusion. See ma here, simple diffusion. This is, see here, simple diffusion I said. Simple diffusion. So the which animals show simple diffusion? See here, protozoans, lower invertebrates, lower invertebrates such as sponges, cnidarians. Cnidarians means cylinderates, flatworms, earthworms, etc. Okay, protozoans means already you knew. Amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc. Okay, amoeba, euglena, paramecium, earthworm, flatworm, sponges, cnidarians, hydra, like this way organisms. So like this way, organisms can exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide with a simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. Simple diffusion means what? See, it is water habitat, freshwater habitat, or stagnant water habitat, or marine habitat, or aquatic habitat. This is aquatic habitat. In this one here, for example, amoeba, there is no shape for amoeba. There is no shape for amoeba is surviving here. So surroundings, more and more oxygen is present. From the atmosphere, oxygen is entered into the water and dissolved. Everybody knows that, dissolved. Oxygen is dissolved in the water. So inside the, it is the cytoplasm. In the inside of the amoeba, it is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. So outside the water, outside the amoeba body is excess amount of oxygen is there. So automatically from higher concentration, oxygen is diffused into the cytoplasm of the amoeba. So this oxygen is entered into the cytoplasm of the amoeba and utilized by the all the cells. And immediately here carbon dioxide is released. So here carbon dioxide also from higher concentration. Why? Here inside of the amoeba, carbon dioxide concentration is higher. Carbon dioxide concentration is higher. Carbon dioxide concentration is higher. Outside carbon dioxide concentration is lower. Then automatically from higher concentration to lower concentration, the carbon dioxide is expelled outside the environment. This is called simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. Okay, so this is what occurs over their entire body surface, surface. Like this way, amoeba, euglena, paramecium, earthworms, flatworms, sponges, cnidarians, like this way. So in this case, earthworm is different. Earthworm condition is different. So we cannot applicate. So like this through water only, but that condition is different. That condition specifically, I will say that. Okay, that's this is the so organs of respiration. Here see, I said earthworm condition is different. I said, see here we will see earthworm. Earthworm use their moist body wall for exchange of gases. Earthworm use moist body wall for exchange of gases. Moist body wall. Here roughly I will draw earthworm body. You see, like this way, earthworm body like this. Earthworm consists of number of segments. These are all called segments. These are all called segments. Each earthworm consists of nearly 100 to 150 segments. Okay, these are called segments. This is anterior portion. Anteriorly, mouth is located. Anterior mouth. So posteriorly, anus. It is posterior. See, earthworm use moist body wall for exchange of gases. Generally, earthworm keeps their skin moist by three methods. See here, earthworm use moist body wall. Moist body wall means what? See, moist body wall. I am drawing now already one layer I drawn. It is one more layer is drawing. This is called one more layer. Why I am saying it is in first PUC, it is there. I am not saying first PUC topic. I am saying first PUC. It was there in first PUC. So related that information, little I am saying. Don't think that I am discussing first PUC. I not yet started. It is a basic information. If you learn this earthworm, how earthworm will keep their skin moist, how it will survive. So then it becomes easy for your first PUC. Okay, that's all. So this is earthworm. It is body wall. The body walls. Earthworm body is segmented. These are all called segmented. See, earthworm keep their body moist earthworm keep their body moist by 3 methods. First one is by coelomic fluid. By coelomic fluid. See here, coelom. See here, the middle part. I am drawing some. This is coelom, not coelom. It is elementary canal. It is connected to. It is called elementary canal. It is elementary canal. Elementary canal. So see here, by coelomic fluid. Coelom is coelom is the body cavity. It is present between body wall and elementary canal. Between the body wall, this is body wall. Between body wall and elementary canal, there is a space. This space is called body cavity. This is called body cavity. This entire body cavity is filled with a kind of a fluid that is called coelomic fluid. Okay, so this is called coelomic fluid. See here, coelom is the body cavity which lies between elementary canal and body wall. See here, this is called body cavity. This is also called coelom. So this coelom is filled with a fluid. This fluid is called coelomic fluid. This coelomic fluid is expelled out through these minute pores present on the earthworm skin. Earthworm skin consists of a minute pores. Or else take one earthworm. If you are coming from agriculture-based family, so when you are going to agriculture field, if you find any earthworm, take the earthworm and keep it on your palm. And if you press, immediately it can release a kind of a wheat color slippery fluid. That slippery fluid is called coelomic fluid. So this is coelomic fluid. Occupies center the surface of the skin and absorb water. So this coelomic fluid keeps earthworm skin always moist and cool. So that moist skin absorb oxygen and send oxygen to the inside, and all the cells utilize oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is expelled out through skin. So this is called coelomic fluid. Okay, that's all. Nice. Second, earthworm keeps their skin moist by 3 methods. First one is coelomic fluid. Second one is by secreting mucus. It is one mucus. See here, generally earthworm skin, this is called body wall. The body wall covered by a skin. This is okay. The body wall is covered by a skin. So the skin, earthworm skin consists of earthworm skin consists of number of glands. Even in our body skin also number of glands are present. Those glands are called sebaceous glands. Like that, even earthworm skin also consists of number of glands. Those glands are called goblet glands. Those goblet glands secretes a kind of a fluid that is called mucus. This mucus is, see, in this skin, number of glands are present. Like this, number of glands are called. Those glands are called goblet glands. Those goblet glands secretes mucus. Mucus keeps the skin moist for a longer time. Okay, mucus. This is the fluid. This mucus keeps the skin moist for a long time. It prevents the skin from drying. This mucus prevents the skin from drying. If this mucus is dried by the sun rays, earthworm died due to lack of oxygen. That's why this mucus always keeps moist. So this mucus is continuously secreted by goblet glands. This mucus absorbs water and keeps the earthworm skin moist and wet. This mucus prevents the skin from drying. Accidentally, if the skin is dried, this mucus is dried. If the mucus is dried, then earthworm is died due to lack of oxygen. That is the second one. Okay, ma? That's it. Next, earthworm keeps the skin moist by 3 methods. First one is coelomic fluids. Second one is by secreting mucus. Third one is by living in burrows. By living in burrows. Already said today only burrows. So earthworms lives in burrows. Not only earthworms, frogs, snails, garden snails, like that with different kinds of animals lives in deeper layers of the soil. Deeper layers of the soil. Earthworms lives in burrows in deeper layers of the soil. Usually in burrows, the environment is cool and moist. Cool and moist. So this atmosphere in burrows reduces evaporation of reduces hot. Okay, so in the burrows environment is cool, moist. Reduces evaporated moisture from the skin of earthworm. So if the skin of earthworm is moist and cool, then it can be performed respiration. Okay, ma? So through these 3 methods, earthworm keeps the skin moist. Okay, that's all. Pulmonary respiration. The respiration which occurs through lungs. That kind of respiration is called pulmonary respiration. Example, frog. Okay, that's all. See, types of respiration in frog. In frog, cutaneous respiration takes place, pulmonary respiration takes place. Third one is see here the respiration which occurs through gills. Gills are bronchi. That kind of respiration is called bronchial respiration. Gills means what? For example, if you observe tadpole larva for frog, so how fish respire? Exactly like that, tadpole larva frog respire through gills. That kind of respiration is called gill respiration. It is also called bronchial respiration. Example, tadpole larva of frog, tadpole larva of frog. Like this way, frog can respire through these 3 types of respiration. Okay, according to surroundings environment, depending upon situations. Along with these, so frog buccal respiration also can be performed. Buccal respiration also. Buccal respiration means what? Through mouth. Okay, so if you observe clearly, whenever frog, so the frog mouth always open. Who can close? But frog mouth always open, and like this way blinks. That means what? It can be performed through oral cavity or buccal respiration. Okay, so generally this kind of respiration is stored by adult frogs. Okay, so these types of respirations are very common in frog.